Hello, everybody. It's Lynn here. Oh, I forgot to do something. Oh, hang on a minute. I don't know if I can do it now. Let me just see if I can. Hang on. I've just got to go into settings. Can you hear me, folks? Can you hear me? Thank you, Kath. Yes, I was busy getting ready. Have you got sound now? Can you hear me? Good. Okay, so you can hear me. That's brilliant. Okay. Right, I'm going to see if I can come in on the other. Wait a minute. Let's see if I can enter the studio over here as well. And then I can. Oh, thank you, Kath. That's lovely. I'm going to try. Oh, I was trying to come in on the other camera as well, on the computer. But I don't know if it was trying to give me feedback. So let me just have a little play because I can only do it while we're here. So no, I don't know how to put the sound. We got the sound coming back. Hello? No. I don't know how to put the sound off. So I might have to wait a minute. Settings. Does it tell me what to do? No. Sorry, I'm going to have to kill this because I don't know how to kill the sound. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. I've put my whole TV screen off. That's not much help. Anyway, let's go here, shall we? Oops, hang on. I don't know. Sorry, you got feedback. I think I need to leave this. Having issues. Yes, I'm having issues. Always having. Right, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to come out of that one and I'm going to just come over here. All right, so I'm leaving the studio. There we go. I used to be able to go on the computer and on here, and I've forgotten how to do it or how to kill the sound. Anyway, let's just do it on here. I thought I was going to be able to read all the comments over there. Never mind, we'll just sit here and do it here, but it does mean I can look at other things while I'm doing it. So any of you who are in, can you tag any of the other people, because I didn't get a lot of chance to tell everybody I was going live. So if some of you could tag some of the other folk, that would be helpful. I could, for some reason, StreamYard's lost communication with the Go Live Granny community group, so I wasn't able to post it in there today. I don't know, these technology issues, they do challenge me, don't they? So anyway, how is everybody? I hope you're all well. I'm just going to see if I can find one or two things that I wanted to talk about. I've made some notes, but today, when I was pottering around, I got some memories came up on my Facebook page, and I've forgotten what one of them was, so that's not helpful. So I'm just trying to see if I can see. Don't know how to get into my memories. That's not helpful, is it? Let's go over here. So give some indication that you can hear me, folks, and who's here. There's a few people here, but let's have a look. Right, so let's see. So anyway, I have got a ticker bar going across the bottom, and I do want you to pay attention to that, folks, if you will. And if you can see, look, it says please vote for Isle Access. before midnight tomorrow. And if you go to that link, health.movementforgood.com, if you click on that, or if you get hold of that, I wonder if, do I need to stop the ticker bar going across? Do I need to make it stationary? Oh, you won't see it all though if I do that. Right, okay. It's healthformovementforgood.com. Thank you, Corey. And basically, if you go to that website, it will ask you to nominate a charity, and there's £5,000 up for grabs. And if you put in Isle Access, and there's the number of the charity there, it's in the ticker bar down the bottom there. If you can do that and vote for Isle Access, that would be brilliant, because we want money for more things that Jan would be able to do for accessibility on the island. Jan set up Isle Access some years ago when she realised that the Isle of Wight was losing a huge amount of money in tourism because people didn't know whether places were accessible or not. It doesn't mean we're not accessible. There's lots of accessible places, but if the information isn't easily available for people with disabilities, and good evening, Kathleen, and then maybe Cornwall have got all the information on their website, then people are obviously going to go to Cornwall rather than the Isle of Wight. And we do need our tourism numbers to go up. We need our businesses supported in lots of ways. So the voting finishes tomorrow at midnight on that one. So I really would love you to go and vote there. And it was quite pertinent that came up today, that Jan put that out and asked me to vote. Actually, I voted yesterday, but she was sharing it again today, and very, very pertinent to what I want to talk about tonight. Because actually, when I didn't plan to go live tonight. Today, earlier this morning, I thought I hadn't got a plan to go live tonight. But while I was pottering around this morning, thank you, Kathleen. Yes, I did ask anybody to share that I was going live. I haven't had a lot of time to share it, and also I couldn't post for some reason. My StreamYard has disconnected with the Go Live Granny community group. So if anybody can pop over there and put a note in and say that I'm live now, that would be really helpful. If you could tag some of the people that usually come in, that would be really helpful. So anyway, if you're watching the live now, that's brilliant. Thank you everybody for coming in on the live. If you're one of the people coming in the future on the replay, you can only vote on that up until midnight on the 26th of April 2024, which is tomorrow as I broadcast. But the rest of the information in the broadcast will be relevant. But I always used to do that, didn't I? I used to greet you coming in, and then I used to talk to the viewers in the future. And I totally got out of the habit of doing that. And then I was watching some of my old live streams and I thought, yes, I really need to talk to people. Anyway, I'm sorry that you've got a lot of clutter in the background. This is my actual craft room. I usually broadcast from my lounge, one side of the lounge or the other side of the lounge. Sometimes I broadcast from my bedroom and my bed. Actually, they're all craft areas, but this one, I'm sorry, I haven't got it all neatly tidy on the shelves. Maybe I'll try one day, but this is me we're talking to. So anyway, yes, so in my broadcast, in my on my Facebook this morning, popping up in my memories was that this date was significant, and I can't remember how many years ago it was. Let me just see if I can find. I don't know if I can get into my memories from here. How do I get to my memories? I'm not sure where my memory. Music, TV programs, apps and games, events, reviews, given, managed section. It's this morning on my phone I could find my memories, and now I can't find my memories. So if anybody can tell me where my memories are, hang on. So wait a minute. Here we go. I found, I think I found some of the posts. Right. So have I found the posts? I found a post here. Let's see if this is the one. So some years ago, and I don't know, it says on here, it said in my memories it was 4 years ago, but I don't know if it was. Where are we now? No. It was longer ago than that, and I really don't remember when it was. But if anybody can look at my Facebook page, see if they can find the memory. My memory is not good, and now I can't find my Facebook memory. But what is relevant is I want to talk about the power of this wonderful community that I have and the power of the live stream. I knew when live stream first started how powerful it was going to be, or I knew it was going to be powerful because my son, he runs a social media agency, and he said, you know, this is the future, live streaming videos, that's where it's all going to be at. And this was years and years and years ago. And we were early adopters of getting into video. Hello, Jane. Yes, I love this scarf. Jane, I wear this scarf all the time, and I get so many people admiring it. It does molt. It leaves little turquoise bits. I leave a little trail wherever I go. But, you know, Jane, for those of you watching in, Jane made me this scarf and sent it to me. Jane and I have never met. Just shows you what a wonderful community has built up here around the live stream that I did. And so, I mean, let me give you a bit of history for those of you watching in now or in the future. Oh dear. Let me tell you how we started. Hello, Astrid. How wonderful. Oh, it's lovely to have some of my past viewers coming back in again now. But of course, because I wasn't well, I didn't do much live streaming over the last year. I feel really chipper now. I feel really back to almost full health, as I did a little cough there. I do feel very good, and I feel like getting on the live streams and doing more promotions and things wherever I can. And as I say, anybody coming in now, go to the bottom there and please vote for IEL Access. So it says health.movementforgood.com. If you can go to that link and click on there and put in nominate IEL Access charity and give it a vote, that would be amazing. So, as I say, when I woke up this morning, I had no idea I was going to live stream. I had no idea it was the anniversary of some of our winnings where I'd got the community to help with voting. So, as I say, I started to go back. I do pop all over the place. You just have. I'm like a cricket, aren't I? I hop here and hop there and hop there. I do have that tendency, but you know, either you love me or you hate me. I'm a bit like Marmite. You love me or you hate me. If you love me, you'll stay. If you hate me, scroll on by. And you know, I won't be worried if you do. I want the lovely people in my community who we can all relate to, and we can work as a community. And we have worked so well as a community over the years. So I'm going to take you back to my first real live streaming. Well, I think I was already live streaming, but August, I think it was either the end of August or the 1st of September. I can't remember what the date was the real first real good live stream that I did to promote the island. So many of you will know that over the years I've been very frustrated because my Isle of Wight is so beautiful, and I call it my Isle of Wight, you know, like there's no other island in the world. And who said that? That's a famous quote. Somebody fill me in with who said it. But anyway, I love my island. I wasn't born and bred here. I've only been here since I've been here 24 years. So I moved here in where are we now? 2024. So I moved here in 2020. No, 2020. What am I trying to say? I moved here 24 years ago. I love it. I absolutely love it. I didn't want to be here, and then for various reasons that I won't go into tonight, I ended up coming here, and I ended up absolutely loving it and wanting to make my home here. My frustration has always been that if you've got a beautiful island like ours, then you should show it off to the world and help the tourism figures. And sadly, over the years, we had various different marketing departments who all failed miserably to show the world what a beautiful place we had. There were some who just used to put up all sorts of text and no beautiful pictures. Then there were the ones who came along and put up pictures only of beaches. And of course, we're not just a beach place. We have so much. We have places for walkers and cyclists and children and you know, people who want to go and live in a log cabin and who want to go and glamping and all that. There's so much on our beautiful island for so many different people, but it wasn't being shown off. And I was really frustrated too when the latest marketing company came about, and I was told by the CEO when I asked what were they going to do with using YouTube for promoting the island, and the CEO told me that we don't believe in YouTube. Second biggest search engine in the world. Why wouldn't you believe in YouTube to show off? Anyway, just shows me they never knew what they were doing. So anyway, my frustration was so great. My son saw my frustration and he taught me to live stream. And then he taught me to live stream the island, and he said, come on, mum. And this was in either the end of August or the first day of September. I can't remember the exact date. 2016 it was. And we went and we stood in the high street in Ryde, where, you know, my town that I live in now. And we stood there, and it's Ryde is like this. So you go around the town and then you go down the hill to the sea. And so you've got Union Street, which comes up from the sea, and then the High Street, which goes up from Union Street. So we were standing in the High Street here, and the carnival comes round the corner and down the High Street, past where we would be standing. So I was watching that video today, and it brought back so many happy memories of that time. So we were standing there, and I said to my son said to me, all right, mum, go live. And I said, where should I go live? And I have a Facebook page, and there is actually a YouTube channel, but I did more on the Facebook page, a Facebook page called Isle of Wight .live. And I said, he said, go live on there. Well, he'd only just set the page up, and it was completely blank. There wasn't anybody on it. It was just a completely blank page, as when you first ever start a Facebook page up. And I said to him, but there's nobody there. But I did have faith in him because he knows what he's doing. He's very good with the social media. He's always thinking of new things to do and ways to promote. So I went live on that page, knowing that he probably knew what he was talking about, and all I had to do was actually point the camera and make sure that I recorded what was going by, or went live with what was going by. So that's what I did. And it took about, I think that live stream was about 34 minutes. That's how long it took for the carnival to pass us by. So it was a 34-minute carnival. At that point, as it goes around the town, it spreads out more. As the walkers get tired, it spreads out and there are more gaps. But at that point, when it went past us, it was 34 minutes. And it started off with the fire brigade leading the no, you don't need a passport for the Isle of Wight, Shane. Not at all. Anyway, so we went. The fire engine went past, and that led the parade. And then we had 34 minutes of people all dressed up. Some people walking, some family groups, some floats all decorated, pushchairs decorated up. All sorts of different people entered the carnival, and there was a wonderful spirit in the town. There always is when it's carnival time. And so that was just amazing. And I really loved it. And you know what? 34 minutes later, we had 1,000 views on that live stream. Now, bearing in mind that nobody was on that page when I first hit that button, pretty amazing that we had 1,000 views to that page in 34 minutes. Not bad, was it? I knew my son knew what he was doing. I knew what he was telling me to do. So it's amazing, but it's all about the numbers and the sharing. I always tell you, share it, hashtag sharing is caring. I'm always telling you that, aren't I? So actually, we've got nobody coming in from Facebook here. Everybody coming in is on YouTube. Am I live on Facebook? Do you know? Wait a minute, let's see. I could see here. Let's see if I'm live on Facebook, because that's where I should be going live there as well. But let's have a look. Let's have a look if it's gone live there. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the wrong page. It's gone to my profile instead of my Go Live Granny page. Corrie's making a scarf. She'll send a photo later. That's lovely. So let's have a look. Oh, you're on Facebook, Jill. Thank you. So you are watching from Facebook. That's brilliant. And please, folks, hit the share button. Yes, I can see now. Hit the share button if you think that there's other people who are going to like to join in and see what we're doing. Hello, Andrea. So yes, please hit the share button, because I have been missing for a while, and then people don't know when I'm going live now. So I tried to share it, but then things happened and somebody came to my door with some bits and pieces and I needed to chat with her, and various things happened, so I didn't actually manage to share it as much as I wanted to, but it was just so important because it was the anniversary of helping a local charity win £50,000 in the lottery. So that's really why I wanted to go live today, to remember that. And I can't remember what year that was. And I should have had all these figures. I wanted to write all this down earlier in the day, and I've been so busy doing different things that I cannot remember. So I've put a picture up on my Facebook page of a chap holding a big banner that says winner, and it's got a figure on there of just short of, oh, thank you, Samantha, of just short of £50,000. So this is why it's significant to go back to the start of my journey, where we started with nobody on a page and suddenly we had 1,000 views. When you're doing something like getting votes in for something like this, and I hope every one of you will vote tonight. So if you've just come in, Samantha's just said she's voted. Look down the bottom there, health.movementforgood.com/. That's what I want everybody to go and look up. And I would love you to vote for Isle Access. Look there, it says Isle Access there. If you put Isle Access in when it says which charity do you want to nominate, if you could all do that, and then if you could share and ask other people to do it, that would be amazing, because Isle Access is an amazing charity on the island. Jan Brooks set it up. Sam and I go into the workshop on a Friday morning that Jan runs, using funding from that she's got for Isle Access. The hub on a Friday morning is a community for anybody to come into. Anybody who wants to come. There's free tea, there's free coffee. I started a workshop. Sam comes in and does loads of that now as well, and other people come in. Different people come and chat about different things, but we've got a real community starting up there as well, which is amazing. But I was absolutely fascinated by Jan when I first met her years ago, because she worked out and she did so much research to find out that you don't know how to do a live stream. Never mind, don't worry, it's quite easy. Basically, there's a button and it says go live. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as holding your camera and pushing the button and going live. But if there are tips about it, do some research, do Google it. It's very, very easy, very, very easy to live stream. Some people don't like their face on camera, but businesses who don't live stream are really missing a trick. Charities, any of the organizations who want to get a message out, live stream is the best way as far as I'm concerned. You know, you're all sitting watching me here now. There must be some attraction to wanting to watch a live stream. You all perhaps do it for different reasons. I don't know. Some of you are my friends. Some of you just might have discovered me popping up in your Facebook feed. Some of you might have seen that I'm a knitter and got involved because of that. There might be so many different reasons. So hang on a minute, I'm just going on there. So anyway, I know I'm hopping about from how I started live stream to and why I'm doing it today, but I just want to get the message across that I want everybody to vote for Isle Access down there before midnight tomorrow, and I want you to share that. If you go to the Isle Access Facebook page, you can share the post from their page. So go to Isle Access Facebook page and share it, and then you'll be able to share it with all your friends and ask all of your friends to vote for us, because what Jan is doing is trying to do a lot more to make the island more inclusive and accessible for people with all sorts of disabilities, but also to get information out. Hang on, let's have a look. Right, Jill's saying, talking about passport, she's convinced her ex he had to take his passport to travel to the Isle of Wight. You got off at ride. He showed it at the inspector in those days, and the guard winked at me to acknowledge the joke. To this day, he never knew that the joke was on him. Made my day. He said to me, "Why did you not show your passport?" I said, "I was born there and did not need one." Absolutely fantastic. I love it, Jill. Hi, Debs. Hope you're well. I see you've had some medical visits today. Hope you're feeling okay. Hello, Abby. Nice to see you coming in there. Yes, the button on the phone, or it's on the phone. I don't usually do it for my PC, and I'm actually using some software that's called StreamYard. Can you see in the corner over here? It says StreamYard, and that software I'm using, it means I can go live stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And if I work it out, I might be able to do it on Instagram as well, but I haven't got there yet. You know, it's I did try, but I've got to change my Instagram account to I think I got to change the sort of account I've got on Instagram if I want to do it over there. So for now, I'm sticking with Facebook and with YouTube. So anyway, I feel a bit like Ronnie Corbett, who used to start a story and then go off in every other direction before he ever got to the end of the story. Anyway, I will go back to why this day is significant, and how live stream played such an important part. So it was on that day way back in 2016 when my son showed me the power of the live stream, you know, that, and in 34 minutes we had 1,000 views on a page that was completely blank before I pushed the button on the camera. Just shows you the magic, and it's all, you know, it is the power of live stream. So basically what happened, how he managed to get 1,000 views to that page when nobody knew about that page. As I went live, he was an administrator in the group on my page, so that we were both administrators on the page. I was actually controlling the camera, and he went in and shared. It's sharing is caring. He shared that broadcast into all the groups, you know, all the Isle of Wight groups, or anybody who might be interested in watching something going on the Isle of Wight. And that's how we got 1,000 views to that broadcast in 34 minutes. So already straight away, I could see the power of it. I knew it was powerful. So when the original CEO of Visit Isle of Wight told me that he didn't believe in YouTube, which is the second biggest search engine in the world, I thought, oh my goodness, this doesn't bode well. Better get on and do it myself. And so that's how I became the Go Live Granny, going around the island, sharing loads of things that happened on the island. I live streamed carnivals, I live streamed penguin plunges, I went into shops and live streamed in people's shops. I live streamed, we turned our main Union Street that's very steep. They turned it into a water slide at one stage for charity. I live streamed that. I've live streamed anything and everything I could, bearing in mind I don't have a car and I have to get around the island either by myself or buses or some very willing people who've given me lifts around the island. We've done it. And I was just looking back on my Facebook page earlier, and I was looking at all those videos, those live streams I've done. So many of them. I shall start sharing them out again. And just enjoying what went on in the past. Isle of Wight Day we did, carnival after carnival. Let's have a look. Debs is saying getting better and playing with glitter paint that arrived yesterday. Well, and cheering you up. I can quite understand how you get cheered up if you get glitter. There's no such thing as not enough sparkle and glitter. Yes, you do have to pay for StreamYard. That is a service I pay for. That is something that it does cost me. So there we go. It's Huntingdon Day because it would have been his birthday and he was born here. Okay. And when you say he, please educate me because I don't know. I should know about Huntingdon because my dad was born in Huntingdon, but I don't know enough about it. So please give me some more information about it, Debs, that we can share. Abby's got her trolley now. Abby is talking about a craft trolley. She saw me with loaded up because I go to do the workshop on a Friday morning, and originally I was bringing in all my equipment like my die cutters and all the paint, the paper and the die cuts and everything. I had a wonderful craft trolley I put it all into, like a bag on wheels, but with lots and lots of compartments in it. I'll take a picture and I'll put it online. And Abby runs a group as well. Abby runs a group, and so she saw it and decided she wanted it. Oh, Oliver Cromwell. Of course. My dad used to talk about Oliver Cromwell. I should have remembered that. And anyway, Abby's got her craft trolley now, so that's brilliant. So she'll be able to transport all her stuff around. I don't have to take as much on a Friday morning now because Jan has bought some equipment for the craft group, for the hub, and she's also now got a cupboard that she can store it in, so we don't have to take it in and out every week because that was becoming a bit of a nightmare. So anyway, sorry, my cough. It wasn't the cough that carried her off. It was the coughing they carried her off in. Oh, did I say that? No. So as you can see, I got cracking once I knew how the numbers worked for the live stream. I tried to encourage people to do it. I can remember a couple of chaps I knew. I ran a network group back then, and I was telling everybody, really get on and live stream. And there are people say, oh no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be on camera. I said, well, your business will improve if you do, because people buy from people. And if you're the person behind the business and people get to know you, they are going to love buying from you and build a relationship. So I had to encourage people to try and be in front of the camera. But even if you don't like being in front of the camera, you can be behind the camera and show what goes on in your shop or in your venue or whatever it is you do. Or like me, showing off things about the island. Now, I don't mind being in front of the camera, although I can tell you when I first had to do I had to do a video for something, and I did a take, and then I did another take and another take and another take, and it was just, it was a nightmare. When you do live stream, it's one take and that's it. And the thing is, if you were standing here talking to me and I fouled up on my words, I would just carry on and just say oops and do it. So what's the difference with the camera in the middle? So I have persuaded a lot of people to try and not be so self-conscious about those things, because the benefits of the live stream way totally outweigh any worries about it. Obviously, if you really, really, really don't like it, then I would never, force anybody to do it. But encouraging people because of the power of it is amazing. So anyway, let's go to why I'm doing this tonight. So the power is that you can get a lot of people watching your broadcasts. And we, over the years, I've got involved with a whole load of things where we needed to vote, like that down there where we want you to vote for IELTS Access by tomorrow night. There were all sorts of things that came up in front of me, and I can do one vote, but by the power of social media, I can get thousands of votes in for any of the things that we're trying to go for. So many, many moons ago, David Green was a wonderful chap. He's not with us anymore, but he was a wonderful chap who was trying to green the island. His name was actually David Green. That was his name. And he wanted an Isle of Wight that was very green, as we all do. And, he wanted to get everything eco-friendly and whatever. And he was doing an amazing job. And I remember once he called me his secret weapon. I've been called many things, but on that occasion, he called me his secret weapon. And what it was all about, it was a voting thing. So there was £10,000 that was going to be awarded to the winner of this vote for the greening. And in the end, it was like a 2-horse race. The last two significant players in this voting process was the Isle of Wight and Brighton. Now, I knew Brighton because I did my teacher training in Brighton, and I know it's a very big place, and I know that they could have huge amounts of numbers of people voting. I could only do my best, couldn't I? So what I did was I jumped on social media, and I kept getting, and the idea is get on the camera and ask people to vote, like I'm asking you to vote now for that. I didn't have a ticker bar then, like I've got now going across the bottom. I just had to say, I had to hold a sign up saying, please vote, and then giving you the web address. Now I can put it on a ticker bar, look, and I can make it move, or I can make it stationary if you want. But I like it going across the bottom. So anyway, we made huge progress with this thing, and I wanted that £10,000 for the island, and you know what, we nearly did it. We didn't quite. If we had another 24 hours, I reckon we would have won that. It was a near miss. I was pretty pleased with how we did, because I know that Brighton would have had huge amounts of numbers, and of course it's a student, they've got the university and the colleges there, so they'd had a lot of young people getting out and doing voting and whatever. We narrowed the gap. We narrowed it right down in those last 24. If I had another 24 hours, we would have won. We didn't, but it didn't matter. It was sort of a practice run, because after that there were loads of things that we did. I was in a I've on social media, I've been in groups with lots of women's groups all over the country. I've met people all over the country because I used to go around the country anyway when I was selling Usborne children's books, and I met a lot of people. And then through the women's groups, I met lots more. And one day, it was a Wednesday. I can remember it was a Wednesday. Funny things you remember after all those years. And I noticed that somebody was needing votes, and she needed votes. She needed to be in the top 5 of these people. She was doing the pitch to Rich. Now, the pitch to Rich was a pitch to Richard Branson for funding for a business. Now, this was a mum who'd I think she'd been made redundant. She had 2 young children, and she needed to put food on the table for them. So she started a home business, and it was called Rags for Heroes. In fact, I should have bought my rag doll in. So it was Rags for Heroes, and basically what she was doing was making rag dolls. Some of them could be like Superman and Batman, those sort of things, the heroes. But she was making them, a lot of them, for boys, because if you know, I don't know if it's not sort of the same now, but years ago it was some people considered that only girls played with dolls, so it was all geared as a gender thing for the girls. And you know, so I mean, it's changed now. So she had boys, I think, and she had a girl afterwards, but I think she had 2 boys first. And so she decided to make these rag dolls that were like heroes, you know, like Superman and Batman and any of those things. But so they were sort of more male gender, if you get my meaning. But she wanted some funding. I think it was about, it wasn't a huge amount of money. I think it might have been like 7,000 or something like that. Some people might think that's a huge amount of money, but you know, in the grand scheme of things, of some of the things we've done, it was not a huge amount of money, but it was significant to help. So she needed to pitch to Rich, but in order to be able to pitch to Rich, she had to be in the top 5 of all these people who wanted to pitch to Rich. And they weren't just women pitching, it was, I think it was anybody pitching who'd got an idea for a business. So anyway, you know, I just felt I wanted to get behind this, and I really wanted to help her. I liked the story. I came late to the party. It was Wednesday. The voting was closing at lunchtime on Thursday. But I didn't think, oh, I've got no time. I thought, woo, I've got Wednesday afternoon and Thursday morning. Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening and Thursday morning. Depends how you look at it, doesn't it? If you can put a positive spin on it, like I did, I've got all this time. However, I had an appointment on the Thursday morning. I was going to do something. So I thought, right, okay, I can move that appointment to Thursday afternoon, and then I can help this girl on Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, and Thursday morning, right up to lunchtime. And that's what I did. And so that's where I really started on this, you know, jumping in and asking anybody I knew if they would help, you know, telling the story and then saying, please, can you vote? But not just can you vote, but can you vote and can you share? Because it's like throwing a pebble in the pool. It becomes much bigger if you get more people to share. I think they said at one point, I don't know what the figures are now, but I know at one point they reckon that most people on social media on an average had 300 connections. So if you think that, you know, I've asked you to share and you share it with your 300 people, we could get lucky and they could all vote, or we can get some of them voting. And then if you ask them to share it with their people, can you see the numbers start to build and build and build? And so that's what I did. And I don't just, the thing is, I don't just write it on the page and say, please share. Because people like, if you ask them personally, most people will do it. You know, it depends, but a lot of people will do it if you ask them personally. If you just write it on the page, it's so easy to ignore it, isn't it? And so it is the sharing that makes the magic. You know, it really does make the magic. And so yes, so we did it. So at this point when I joined, coming late to the party, I don't know how long it had been going by the time I spotted it, but she was in 6th position. She needed to be in the top 5, remember? And I don't think we could see how the voting was going. Maybe we could on that one, I'm not. Sometimes we see how the voting's going, and sometimes we're absolutely doing it blind. We haven't got a clue. So on that occasion, I just went for it. I just asked. I had quite a big community, and my community had big communities. So I went where I thought I could make the most impact and asked lots of people, and I didn't stop. Well, I did go to sleep on Wednesday night, but I don't think I went to sleep for a huge amount of time, you know. And I did share it on pages and things and saying, look, this would really make a difference if I've forgotten what her name is now. Oh, silly me, my memory's not very good. But anyway, I'd never met this girl. I have met her since, but I'd never met this girl. And I just liked the story and I wanted to help. Anyway, we bust a gut, and between us, and don't forget, I might know how to do it. I might have the idea first, but I cannot do it on my own. It is a community thing. It's where everybody joins together, and when you work together, teamwork makes the dream work, you know. So I can sit here and say, right, push the button, and unless all of you push the button, it doesn't work. But because we have a brilliant community, when I ask you if you would help, as long as you like the thing I'm talking about, then you do help. And you've done it so many times. I mean, when I say you, I'm talking to my whole community. Some of you are new here. Some of you have been here a long time. So some of you will know and go way back with some of these things. So upshot of it was, she came in the top 5. We got her there. Boy, was I tired by Thursday lunchtime, because I find it quite. It gets the adrenaline running, but it's actually quite tiring. So Emily, I loved doing it, and I was thrilled that she got there. So because I'd helped her, she decided to make me my own rag doll, which I have got, and I didn't bring in here. It's in the other room, and it's not easy to access, in a couple of minutes. So I'll put a picture up on my page as a reminder of my rag doll. Anyway, what was funny about that was later on, she and I were both entering something, some sort of women's thing to get, I don't know, I can't remember what we were doing, but we needed to do a short video promoting ourselves in order to get through to this next thing. All right, and she was doing it, and she's oh, I can't do this. And I said, do you know what? Because what happened, she won the pitch to Rich, so she actually pitched to Richard in person, and then she went on to be an ambassador, some sort of ambassador for Virgin in the Northeast, and she used to have breakfast with Richard Branson. So then when she said, oh, I can't do this video, I said, hang on a minute. You've sat and had breakfast with Richard Branson. You've pitched to Richard Branson. Of course you can do this. You need to think positively and think about, doing this video, because it should be, just talk to the camera as though Richard Branson's having breakfast the other side of the camera. If you have breakfast with Richard Branson, just think he's sitting over there and you can do this. And she did it. You just have to put those ideas forward. So that's what she did. And it was absolutely brilliant. I was thrilled with how she went on to be able to actually be an ambassador as well. Anyway, but coming back to the anniversary today, so we did a lot of things like that with vote collecting, but the biggest ever one was 50,000 lottery funding for one of our island charities. Now, the island charity is called Bodster. It's a community interest company, so it's not for profit company. And basically, Joe and Giles Boddington, they live in Sanford, which is a tiny little place in the middle of the island, and they have horses, and they use those horses with people with disabilities, and there's a fantastic response. Particularly, I think particularly people with dementia, that works well. So I met Joe and Giles. The college had an open day. Because I was a networker, I used to go to all these things so I could get lots of information, and I could share them with my network groups and all the businesses that I came across. So I went to this open day, and I met Joe and Giles, and they invited me out to where they live in Sanford. And I can remember it was a torrential rain day, the same day as we got actually the news of the lottery funding, funnily enough. I think it was, well, maybe it wasn't, maybe I'm muddling the two up. Anyway, I went over to visit them, and I got the bus went near there, and Giles came and picked me up, and I went to learn all about Bodster and the horses and that. I was fascinated at what these people were doing to help people with disabilities on our island. So that was amazing. Well, Fast forward, I don't know how long, but I had a message from Joe one day saying, Lynn, we've got a secret we want to share with you. You're not allowed to tell anybody yet, but we need your help. And they knew what I'd done in the past with getting votes in for different things. And the secret was they had been invited to bid, to try and bid for this £50,000 of lottery funding. Now, you only get the chance once to bid for that, and this was the chance. And they had just 1 week. It was a week. I can't remember whether it was 7 days or 5 days, a short week. I can't remember. But they had just a week. So we really had to go big time for this. 50,000 lottery funding. There were seven charities or groups, CIC companies or whatever they were. Seven that would be better, not putting 10 up. 7 groups that were able to put a pitch in for this 50,000 fund, up to £50,000 of funding. They had to explain exactly what they were going to spend it on. So if you've seen the photograph of the guy holding up the big banner that says winner on my page, it was £49,000 and so many hundreds of pounds and so many pence. They had to break it down and actually say what exactly they were going to buy if they got the £50,000. So they broke it down, and what they wanted a horse box, because they used to take the horses into the care homes. Yes, they took the horses into the care homes. And in order to do that, you need horse box. Well, they had a horse box, but it wasn't theirs. They had it on loan, and they wanted to get their own horse box, because obviously that made it, better to own your own horse box. And then they wanted some photographic equipment, because, lots of these people had dementia. And what was nice was that they would take photographs of the people that they were serving, the people with dementia, and share those photographs with the families of the people with dementia. So that was just amazing. I mean, I never knew this all went on until I met Joe and Giles, and it was amazing. So much goes on this island that, I haven't even discovered yet, I'm sure. Every day is a school day, and always learning new things. So this was amazing. And I really wanted to be part of helping them to get that £50,000. Now, I knew the power of social media, but I had to engage. I had to really pull my finger out, pull the stops out, and really go for it. My son had given me this wonderful tool, taught me this. He taught me at the age of 68 how to live stream, Not bad. Who says you're ever too old to learn new things? Always opportunities to learn new things. So the start of it was on the Monday, and they were starting it by taking one of the horses and being outside the big Tesco's in Ryde. And so they were going to have a horse outside, and they were going to have lots of leaflets, and they had sweatshirts with Bodster on it and all that. And they wanted me to go up there and see if I could do some live streaming up there. So I was up for this big time. Wasn't allowed to tell anybody until the day, because it was totally secret until then. And I can keep a secret when I'm told to. So I didn't tell anybody, and until I pushed the button and we told the world. And so we were talking to people there, and then I did some live streaming there outside Tesco's, and then lots of the people there were. Obviously there were other people helping. It wasn't just me. There were lots of lovely people helping, giving out leaflets, and when they went to their groups, they'd tell them about it, and they all had Bodster sweatshirts on. And I said, have you got a spare one? Because what better than advertising the charity as you went about your business all around the island? This is like a notice board. Not just this as a megaphone, but my front could be a notice board, couldn't it? So they gave me one, and everywhere I went, I wore it. And I can remember even being on the bus. I was helping another charity out, doing something, and on the bus going there, I had my Bodster sweatshirt on. when I got to, it was doing some collection outside Asda. When I got to Asda, I took off my Bodster sweatshirt on and put on whatever I needed for the other charity, did my collecting for that other charity, then switched over and put my Bodster sweatshirt on to go back home on the bus. I was knitting on the bus and somebody started asking me about my knitting. And I said, oh, before I tell you about my knitting, can I just ask you to vote for Bodster? And I stuck my chest out. Now, I don't normally go around sticking my chest out, but it had this wonderful message. And I explained what Bodster was. And I gave them a leaflet so that they could go home and vote. I mean, obviously, now it's much easier to do things on your phone. I'm talking about quite a few years ago. But now I could say, get it out and vote now while you're sitting here. But no. So I gave them the details, and then I told them about my knitting. And there was a chap who asked me about my knitting. I was making some cakes. I was knitting some cakes, like you do, because that's the sort of thing I like to do. And again, all these things end up for charity. And he wanted to buy my cakes, and I thought, oh dear, I'll get done for street trading at this rate, selling on a bus. So he wanted to buy them, and he said, how much are they? I said, I really don't know. I haven't got a price on them, and I wasn't intending to sell them on the bus or whatever. Anyway, he took 2 cupcakes and he gave me a tenner for one of the charities. So that was great. That money went on to charity, and he was happy. He had his cakes. I was happy because I told him about Bodster too, and it was win-win all the way round. So everywhere I went, I told everybody about Bodster. I got leaflets. I kept live streaming. The best way is to have on and off live streaming on the camera so much of the time, and just keep pumping out the message. And in the end, everybody's adrenaline gets going. The best one was when we were voting for Ride Carnival. That one sent the adrenaline right up, right off the top. But that was another one. So let me just finish the story about Bodster. And so it was just amazing. And I knew that the charity was brilliant, but I knew our community, our immediate community on the island, was small. So I had to do bigger than the island, not just the island, but of course on social media you can reach everywhere. I don't know whether we were allowed to get votes in from abroad on that one. Some of the things we've done, you could get votes from across the world. Some of them you could only get UK votes. I can't quite remember on this one. It doesn't matter. So what I did was I hopped on and off social media, and I kept pumping out the message about the great work they were doing, and really this £50,000 would make so much difference. Now, as I say, I knew that it was a fantastic charity, but I'd looked at the other 6 that were in the bidding, and they all came from much bigger communities than the Isle of Wight. There were some pretty big communities there, and so I was invited. That picture that's on Facebook, where you can see us, it was torrential rain the day that, so I got invited to the opening of the envelope when they found out whether they were going to win the 50,000 or not. I think the 2 runners-up got a small amount of money, but it was way much smaller, like probably a couple of hundred or something, I don't know, but not £50,000. But still better than nothing. So I was invited, so I went over, and Giles, I think, picked me up from the bus stop. Yes, I can remember. That was the day that it was absolutely torrential rain. And so instead of just being out in the field with the horses and the cameraman and the guy from ITV, we had to huddle up in the barn, as you will see if you look at that picture. And wow, that was amazing. We had no idea what was in that envelope until the minute they opened it. So on the camera, that they did for ITV, our reactions were actually as it happened at the time, because we had not seen and we had no knowledge, and it was just amazing. We were elated. Can you imagine how excited we were that £50,000 was coming to the island on that one? It was just absolutely brilliant. And I was talking to the guy from ITV afterwards, and I said, I knew it was a brilliant charity. I said, I didn't know if we had enough people behind us because we couldn't see what other people were doing. You know, as I say, and sometimes the voting, you can see what's going on. But in this one, we had no way of knowing where we were against the others. You just had to keep going and keep going and keep going. And he said the same. He said he knew it was a brilliant cause, but he said he thought we were too small a community. But it just shows you the numbers stack up when you work together as a community. So I was doing that, and all, you know, I know what to do, but I could not win that on my own. I need the community with me. I show you, you show the next person, and so it's like throwing the pebble in the pool and all the ripples. So I watch the ripples. So it's such an exciting feeling, being part of a project like that, and the fact that they then got £50,000, amazing. I tagged Joe today. I haven't seen Joe for a long time, but I also work with I do the crafting with Jan and Isle Access on a Friday, but once a month on a Monday I work with Embracing Age charity, and Rebecca, who is the coordinator for Embracing Age, she's just recently met up with them. I don't know whether I'd told her about them or whether she knew about them. I can't remember whether she knew about them before I mentioned it, but she's just recently been to see them because, again, it links with the people with dementia. And so she's been out and she's met them, and it was just so funny that popped up today. And then so I tagged Joe in the post that I put on there, and she's just said, oh, you must come out and see us again. So I'm hoping that one of my lovely friends, and I know there's someone watching in here who might be that person, that will give me a lift out to Sandford one day to go and see Joe and Giles and the horses again, and that would be amazing. Corrie's saying she was just remembering some of the voting for different causes, and we worked out if we had a few email addresses we could vote more than once. Yes, Corrie, you've been part of this community for a long time. We did right, you did it for a science project every day for a week. Was that with me? Because there was a science project we're doing. So are you talking about with my community? Hi Gaz. Were you talking about the Go Live Granny community? Because we did a science project. We did we got everybody voting for Sandown for the best beach in the Countryfile Awards, and we won. We won that one. In the same Countryfile Awards, we got Bembridge was voted the thank you, Kath. You knew who I meant. I look forward to that one. Thank you. Countryfile also, they did the best village. We got votes for Bembridge. Thank you, Corrie. Isn't it lovely to reminisce with all these wonderful things? I knew I had a fantastic community, but sometimes I need to remind myself just how fantastic going back over the years. I don't know when I was nicknamed the Go Live Granny, but from the live stream onwards, it's just been an amazing time. I mean, ever since I was a little girl, I liked to work with charities, and we had a big garden, and I persuaded my mum and dad to let me do fetes in the garden and do some fundraising and things like that. I knitted to fundraise. I ran games and things. So all of those things, just amazing. But it's so nice still at the age of 73 that I can still help, while I'm still able to just, do whatever it needs. And so that was amazing. So Kath saying she remembers that, Corrie, one of the community asked us to vote for her son's team science project. I think it was yes, and it wasn't a project here on the island. I'm glad you remember these things because I'd forgotten that one. It was a project elsewhere, and they did pretty well. They didn't quite win, but they did pretty well. Again, it was another amazing thing. Hello, Rhonda. Nice to see you. Again, the Ride Carnival, again, this was a real, I felt like a real feather in my cap with this one, because Ride Carnival, again, they were in the top 11 for the voting about the most popular carnival in the country, and it went to public vote. And in the end, it came down to like a 2-horse race. So it was us and Bridgewater, which I think, isn't that Somerset? I think Bridgewater's in Somerset. Now, Bridgewater, they have the most amazing floats, huge floats, amazing floats. But it was about the voting. We have a wonderful carnival, and I think it's one of the oldest. I don't know if it's the oldest in the country, but we have we have 3 carnivals in Ryde. We have carnivals every week of the school holidays on the island. We have the Mardi Gras, which is early in the year, so that's the first of the carnival type things. And then every week of the school holidays in the summer, we have carnivals. We have Sandown, and I think Sandown and Shanklin and Ryde is usually the last one of the season, and oh, I can't remember how many there are, Cows and that. And I went and I live streamed, I've live streamed all the carnivals, because that's how I was trying to show off the island when the marketing people didn't see the benefit of actually recording or live streaming or recording the carnivals. Isn't that what sells places? Things to do. If with a family in the mainland and you saw all these wonderful things going on and you like carnivals, might that not be an attraction? In my world it was. That's why I went out there. And I'd stand out there, and people across we had viewers from across the world. We had the States, we had Germany, we had France, and I would stand there and give a running commentary, and I'd say, come tell me where you're coming in from, and I'd try and give a running commentary on the carnival itself. Now, some people don't like running commentaries on their live streams. That's fine. My community has built up because they like it. Somebody once told me, oh, you shouldn't talk while you're doing it. I thought, why shouldn't I? My community like me doing that. If you don't like that, and the person who told me, he said, oh, so and so, somebody said, and I don't think it was somebody said, I think it was he himself who meant he didn't like the way I did it. But you know what? I have my own style. We're all different. And, some people like me talking about it. And what I used to try and do was learn about the floats. And in the Mardi Gras, I managed to get hold of a program so that I could see what was going on. Because in that one, in the Mardi Gras, you've got all the different schools and all the different organizations. And I wanted to be able to tell people what was going on, because that's how I would like it. If I was watching something, I'd want to know what was going on, not just have to guess what was going on. And so, we've done one of the Mardi Gras ones. It was so hot, my camera got sunburn and closed down. I've done live streaming in torrential rain where the camera closed down. But on that one, it was so important to get the camera to open up again, because that one has been my most viewed ever live stream, and that was the scooter ride out in 2018. So on the Isle of Wight, on the August bank holiday weekend, we have scooterists coming with their scooters from all over the country to spend all their money on our Isle of Wight. Brilliant for our tourism. Some people moan about the smell of the fuel, but they're there for a weekend and they're pouring so much money into our tourism. Not a bad thing. So anyway, if you don't like it, just keep out the way. It's only a weekend. I don't particularly like the Isle of Wight Festival, so I keep out of the way when the Isle of Wight Festival's on. It's not my scene. But I don't say, hey, don't come, I don't want you here. It's not my business, is it? So I just keep out the way if I don't like something. So with the ride out, they're here for the weekend, and then on Sunday lunchtime, they do a ride out from the Ryde seafront and all along and round. I don't know how far they go, but they go all round and round and round and round, and then come back, I think, to the seafront in the end, I think. And usually it's lovely, and you see all these scooters. I mean, I'm not a scooter fan, but I know other people are, and I promised I'd share it. So there were thousands of scooters, usually coming out. But this day it was torrential rain. So a lot of the scooterists decided that they didn't want to go. So some of them braved it, And I braved it. And I have in my trolley that helps me walk, I have a little blue tarpaulin that I bought years ago for £1 in Poundland. And I was so glad I had it this day, because I had it up. If you watch the live stream, and I will find it. Oh, I don't know if might be able to find it now. Oh, I don't know. I'll put it. I should have. I should be better at this and get links to it and drop it in down the bottom, but I haven't. So, but if you want to see it, I will put it up. So it was a 4-minute ride out, because there were not many riders. Often it's over half an hour, but because it was so wet, not many riders. Just beforehand, my camera got wet, as I say, and it closed down. I knew I had literally minutes to get the camera sorted, the phone camera sorted, and get back. Unfortunately, I managed to get it going again. I promised people I was going to do it, and I don't like reneging on a promise. Got it open, got the tarpaulin over me. I'm standing here like this, trying to keep me and the camera dry, and it was 4 minutes like that. And you know what? Those people who said YouTube doesn't work, or video and live stream doesn't work, I had 20,000 views in 24 hours. What do I know about promoting via the live stream? I'm only an old granny. You hope it's not that wet. 5th of May. Oh, right. Okay. What's going on the 5th of May? Anyway, the following year, it was very hot. But the following year, was it the following year? Were we in? I can't remember. Whenever I did the next one, it was so hot that the camera nearly all closed. But there were hundreds of people out there. And now, of course, we've got to the stage where lots of people have live streams and videos, which is brilliant, because it lets me off the hook a bit. But going back to winning the Ride Carnival and the most votes, that one was amazing, because people give up far too easily, and it was a 2-horse race by the end. There were 11 places in Kath's just wishing that the Deb's been feeling better there. That's very kind of you. There were 11 places in the running for the most popular carnival, and in the end it was down. I think there were 2 or 3 of us, but in the end, on the Friday night, Bridgewater were about 8, was it? I can't remember the figures. I think it was something like 800 votes ahead of us, and we were in 2nd place, and then somebody else 3rd place. I can't remember what was between us and the 3rd place. Right. Somebody said, there's no way we can win. The voting closed on Tuesday at lunchtime. No, or midnight. Midnight, I think. Yeah, we have a good carnival. We had 3 carnivals, Rhonda. We have the Children's Carnival, the main carnival, which was the one we were voting for, and the Illuminated Carnival. And we are the last carnival of the season here. On the island. It's the last one of the season. Anyway, and this voting was going on not long before Ride Carnival. So wouldn't it be good if we could come up number 1 just before the carnival happened? And that's what we did. And how we did it was when somebody said, oh, we can't win this because we're 800 points behind. That just pushes my rev up button. Oh, can't we? Oh, yes, we can. Hang on for the ride. So I went into overdrive. I must tell you, by Tuesday midnight, I was quite exhausted. But Friday night, I took up that challenge of let's see what we can do. So I jumped on live stream, and I was on there quite a lot. I used to live stream every night at 10 o'clock then. So I had a lot of people coming on anyway. And then I live streamed 10 o'clock, and I said, come on, we've really got to go for this. We can't let them win. We've got to do everything we can. And people started voting. And then I said, then the magic is Can you tell your friends to vote? So somebody come back and say, I voted. I said, right, okay. Did you tell your hairdresser? Can you tell the lady in the bank? Not that we have banks anymore, but we did then. What about telling the lady in the supermarket or the man, you know, the postman or this person? I was giving everybody ideas of who you could ask to vote. Not just relying on them to think, because sometimes people need a little bit more help, a little bit more thinking. And so when you give them ideas, a lot of them would go with that. Oh, yes, I could do that. So it's just about keeping saying, don't just vote once and then ask your postman to ask somebody to vote and ask the lady in the bank to ask somebody to vote. Keep sharing and sharing. So with that one, actually, what I did, so I went live on Friday night. On Saturday morning, I went up to the co-op because Liz, who was the chair of the Ride Carnival Committee, she was outside the co-op, you know, getting votes in as people were going in and out the co-op. And in the co-op, they were announcing it. She happened to have a relation who worked in the co-op. And of course, we're a friendly community, so they would do that. So they kept announcing it over there. And we were outside, and I'd done a sign to you know, big sign saying, Ride, you know, what the oh, thank you for whoever's sending those. There's some hearts coming up there. That's lovely. So, you know, we had signs there sorry, I was just wondering how we're doing for power on the phone. I think we're okay. It hasn't given me any message that it's not. It was quite well charged. So anyway, telling lots of people about it. And we'd also printed off the address, because again, this is a few years ago. Now you could just go on, you get people to go on their phone and do it instantly. But we printed off some things that we could give them the address where they had to go and vote. And we could see what was happening. We could see how near we were. And so Friday and Saturday, we started to close the gap a bit. You know, we were closing the gap down. And all over the weekend, I was jumping on, doing some live streaming, going off, having something to eat, coming back and jumping on again. Oh, it was exhausting, I don't mind telling you, but it was such fun. And you know, and everybody was refreshing their pages, and then they were talking in the chat, and they were saying, oh, we've gone ahead, oh no, we've slipped a bit, and this, and the whole thing was just amazing. And it really shows you what a community is like when they work together, and it's just absolutely fantastic. And so by Sunday night, we had gone into the lead. Don't forget, we've got till Tuesday midnight. So we went from being 800 votes behind to being in the lead, I think this is right, on Sunday night. That was amazing. So I went to bed on Sunday night feeling quite pleased, but not prepared to take my foot off the gas yet. No way. But on Monday, I was back on it as soon as I could. You know, had my foot on the pedal. Come on, we must keep going with this, on and off social media all day long. So many people were with me. It was just amazing. I don't mean with me actually in person, but with me on the live streams. And it was just fantastic. And so by Tuesday morning, I think it was, yeah, so on Monday I relaxed a bit because I was so exhausted, absolutely so exhausted, but knew that I couldn't relax too much because they could overtake us if we weren't careful. And so I was watching it, but not giving it everything I'd got, saving that bit in the tank, you know, for the last push. So relaxed a bit, had a good sleep. On Tuesday morning I woke up, I was watching it, we were still in the lead. But I didn't have to put my foot right down on the pedal on Tuesday because everybody was really helping and they were all working together, and we stayed in the lead, and we ended up going on Friday night 800 points behind the leader, 800 votes behind the leader, to nearly 500 votes ahead as the vote closed at midnight on the Tuesday. It was amazing. The power of the live stream and the working together, the sharing is caring, the things I always talk about, just the proof of the pudding. And it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. But there's a follow-up to this. So I got obviously well known by the Ride Carnival Committee, and last year I found out what happened after that, because after the carnival, so we won, and the following week it was Ride Carnival, so we had the absolute accolade that, you know, they could put that up, you know, and advertise it as we went into Carnival Week, saying we've been voted the most popular carnival in the country. Amazing. So anyway, I found out last year. So we're going back, you know, several years to when this all happened. I can't remember the years. You know, I didn't put any dates down. I must log it sometime. But so we went. So we went into Carnival Week being the most popular carnival in the country, having voted that way. They then went. So last year, I could only live stream. Was it last year? Yes, before I had pneumonia. So in the lead up to me having pneumonia, I was able to live stream only because I got lifts there, because, you know, things were getting more difficult for me. And so the lovely people from the Ride Carnival, Claire and her daughter Keris, they got in touch with me. They said, would you like us to give you lifts home from the carnivals? I think I got myself there sometimes, but no, in the end, they started taking me and bringing me back. And that was amazing. Not only that, but Claire was Keris's mum, and Keris was in the carnival. She's gone to university now. I don't know where she is in her university career now, because I lose track of all this. Anyway, Keris messaged me to see if I would like to have a lift to the carnival, the different carnivals, so that I could do, you know, Sandown and Shankly, all the other carnivals, and Ventnor, of course. And her mum was was driving me, but her mum's car was too little for me and my trolley, because I have a shopping trolley that's like my walker. So she in fact asked her mum and dad if she could borrow their big car. Not only did they give me a lift, but they were prepared to ask mum and dad for the big car. And that was absolutely amazing. That's what this community is like. It's just wonderful to be that part of that sort of community, and amazing to see how many wonderful people we've reached out to over the times. And so that was amazing. Well, they told me last year that they went on holiday after the carnival, and they went to Bridgewater. And they were wearing their Ride Carnival sweatshirts. I don't think they did it deliberately. I think the carnival t-shirts, they're purple and sparkly, and I love them. And so they were wearing them, and they were getting some, I think they were hiring some bikes to ride or something. And the person who was renting the bikes out was a bit grumpy. And they said, oh, you come from Ride. You won the best, carnival, most popular carnival in the country. How on earth did you do that when we have these most amazing carnival, carnival floats and things? They do that. I mean, theirs are huge and whatever. So I won't say they're not good. They are brilliant. But the way the voting went, and it was all fair and above board. Anyway, they said, well, we have a Go Live Granny. David Green called me his secret weapon all those years ago, and they're saying, oh, well, we have a Go Live Granny. It was just so funny. And that's it. It's the power of the live stream. And I couldn't understand how other organizations and other people weren't using it the way we were, because we weren't doing anything magical. It's what anybody could do if you just think, how can we do this? And sometimes you just have to bring people into the future kicking and screaming. Good for you, Lynn. Yeah, absolutely. And I have brought some of them kicking and screaming, I just wish that I could get Visit Isle of Wight, our current marketing people who don't believe really in YouTube, actually using YouTube. I mean, I use Facebook and YouTube. I've got both of them going, but the power of it, and even now, Visit Isle of Wight has got 400 and something subscribers. They have got a YouTube channel. They've got an 8-year YouTube channel. they've got 400 something subscribers and 72 videos in 8 years, which is a bit sad, really, because YouTube's second biggest search engine in the world. So why wouldn't you put stuff on there? However, I don't have to work as hard now, because over the years we've got all these wonderful people who've become vloggers and bloggers, and so many of them. I'm just watching. I'm sitting now this week. I've been around the Isle of Wight following one of our island girls, Kaylee, and I've just noticed them, and she's going all over the island with her partner Brian. He drives her. She goes around. She gives a running commentary like I do. There's another girl who does a lot of walking around the island. She's from the island, but she doesn't give a commentary. She does it without commentary, like some people like. There's things to suit everybody. It doesn't matter. You know, there's always something. Anyway, then we've got the people who come on holiday. So the other day I went on the back of I had a virtual ride around the island on the back of a motorbike. So that was amazing. And then I was with a couple who'd come over, and they were going round. They were doing lots of walking. There was a girl who was walking. She did a 3 or 4 day walk around the island. She got a backpack. She was on her own. She was walking. She did a coastal walk. It was amazing, but I would not like that, to be on my own and then have to camp in a field in a little tent. No, that's not my style. But she was amazing, and that was really good. You know, because there's all sorts of people would like all sorts of different things. You know, so there's so much on the island to show off. Anyway, the couple that were walking around and gave a really good. Yes, Kath saying Tracy did a good bus ride video. Yes, Tracy she was going around on the buses. And then there's Caroline, who I know from ages ago, who's Isle of Wight Ventures. She goes on the buses and does a lot on the buses. You know, not a commentary, but just viewing. That's fine, because different people like different things. And then what was I going to say? Oh yes, so this couple, it was quite interesting. So I've commented on their post, and I said, "Oh, thank you for I comment and I say if I've enjoyed their trips round, and thank you for showing off our beautiful island. You know, we love to have people like you coming and telling the world how good it is." And I said, "It's just a shame that the marketing department don't use YouTube." And she said, now this was interesting, and it's nice to know. I'm glad I've got the information, but it's not obviously out there. We were invited by the marketing department, she said, to come over. So that was good. Okay, so that was fine. So I said, "Oh, did they set your itinerary for you?" And she said, "Yes." So that was good. They obviously, told her where to go and what they wanted to do. And she said, "Oh, they've got a lot of our videos and our photographs and things." So funnily enough, I was watching some more, and I did peep into what Visit Isle of Wight were doing, and I saw this girl in one of their clips, but they hadn't said it was a vlogger. She was just in the clip. And so she didn't know if they'd used any of the stuff. So I said, "Oh, I've seen you in the clip, but they didn't credit you." She said, "Oh, no, that's okay. They paid us for the picture. So that's fine." But it would be nice, wouldn't it, if they had credited the people who'd actually gone round the island. But anyway, at least they were using vloggers who are doing the job very well. So there are loads and loads. I keep seeing all these videos I haven't got enough hours in the day to watch them all, and I'm learning about my beautiful island. There's so much. I've been here 24 years and I'm still finding out things. And one thing I can't do is go in Shanklin Chine, because my mobility won't allow me. It's a chine, it goes all the way down, and my mobility won't let me. But 2 of the vloggers this week went to Shanklin Chine and went down the chine, and that was great. Also, there were vloggers who went on the chairlift at the Needles. Now, no way would I go on a chairlift, and if I was on a chairlift, I wouldn't be able to live stream, because I'd be so terrified and shaking, and the camera would shake to bits, because I don't do heights and I don't do that sort of thing. But other people did. So that's good. So we've got it all. So what I want to do is get sharing. If I share these things, maybe some of you people will share them again so that people can see how beautiful the island is. You know, we can all keep sharing and getting more people here to our island. I mean, I just think that really you don't, I mean, our people, the Visit Isle of Wight, they put a levy on all the tourism businesses. So that's the hospitality and all the hospitality. So that's the cafes, the venues, the hotels, all have to pay a levy, but they don't get anything for it really. Or yes, they do. They get a page on Visit Isle of Wight's site. Now that page, they kept saying it's a free site. I said, no, it's not. You're charging them a levy. How does that work out free? I don't understand free in that context. Anyway, they've dropped the word free because I told them many times. Anyway, so they're charging a levy, and wouldn't it be nice if between all the vloggers and bloggers and everybody sharing, that's how we get people to the island? And actually a marketing department who's actually not doing such a great job on some of the stuff, you know, enough said. I'm off my hobby horse now. I'm going to mention another campaign we did to help with social media, and this one was on Twitter, and I'm going to call it Twitter because it was Twitter when it happened, and I don't think calling that thing X is very sensible. It's a stupid name as far as I'm concerned. Twitter, everybody understands Twitter. So again, I was on Twitter and I saw I came in late to the party. It was part way through a story, and there was a lady from the island, and she had a health problem, so she had a medical person with her. And what she was doing, I think she was being sponsored. I think they was raising money somehow, and she was going from the island with no money and no food, and they were going to see how far they could get, and they had to get onto the mainland, get abroad, go, you know, on a journey, and then get back to the Isle of Wight by Monday morning or whatever it was. And they'd part on the journey and they got stuck, you know, they weren't getting, so what they were doing was putting social media posts out so that, you know, maybe this cafe would invite them and that hotel would let them stay there and that sort of thing. So they were using social media to get round and plot. But she had a nurse with her because she had a health condition. Good for her. It was amazing. And they got stuck part way around. And then somebody tagged me in and said, Lynn, can you help us? And of course, the power of the social media and the network, the power of the network. So it's not just about the social media, but it's knowing people that you can contact. And, you know, I used to run a networking group, and people did tag me as the networking queen. You know, I have done the networking very well. You know, that's been recognized by other people. That's not me just banging my own drum, but I loved networking. I'd always see that, hey, the man with the white van should link up with the person with the letting agency because that's an obvious connection, and this person with the florist ought to connect with the person doing the wedding dresses and things because that's obviously wedding connection and that. So I would connect people up like that, and that was always, you know, a sensible thing to do. And so yes, so they had me in. So somehow I helped. I mean, I don't know how much help I was on that one, but I certainly put in as much as I could, and I helped, and we put out all the posts, and between us we got this girl all the way round and back to the island. And yeah, it was amazing. That one was amazing. You know, I don't think I'd like to head off with no money and and no no money and no food. That's a bit dodgy, isn't it? I like my food too much. Anyway, no, so that worked. So that was another fun one. I'm just trying to think. There've been so many, and I haven't got them all written down. I need to go back through my videos and through my records, because there was another one that was on part of today's anniversary. There were two things that happened on the date today, and I can't for the life. I should have written it down this morning, but you know, I have this thing where I forget what's going on, and I don't know if I can. I'm just thinking what it was. I can't remember. I don't think I put it down, and I can't see where the memories are. On my phone, I could see where the memories are. Can anybody tell me how to get to my memories on the big computer? I think it will be in my Lynn Blackledge page, not on my Go Live Granny page. Oh, maybe it's on the Go Live Granny page. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, there we go. So let's have a look and see if it says here. Let's see if I can find it. Wait a minute. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Let's go back here. I don't know. Not sure I can see. No, I don't know. I can't see where it is. Let's go back again. No, it's not so easy to find on the. I found it easily this morning, but no, I can't see it. I can't see it. So anyway, it is what it is. I've forgotten it. But there was something else that happened on this day too. Let me see. It just popped up and then it disappeared again. So that was such a shame. Let's have a look. Right, okay. Sorry, Debs, you're falling asleep. It's probably time that I finished up now because we've been over an hour and a half on here. I haven't had my evening meal yet, so perhaps I need to go and do that. I need to get my bag ready for tomorrow because it's the warm hub tomorrow, and I've got an ice cream cone that I made, a little gift box ice cream cone. That's in the other room, so I won't bother now, but it's on my page. What else was I going to do? Oh, I'm making a card. I made a card earlier in the week, and it was well liked. I made it for... Oh, I made it... Who did I make it for? Oh, Di. Di is part of our group, and it was her birthday on Tuesday, and I made it for her. And Jan saw it, and she wants to try and make it herself, and she can. I can guide her because it's quite it's not a difficult one to make. And so I've got to get some gold card ready because it's a golden wedding anniversary. So we're going to make sure it's nice and shiny. And gold with 50 numbers on, the 50s on it. So I've got to get that ready. And I've got one or two other goodies that I might just throw in the bag to have a go at tomorrow. So, that's it. So anyway, don't forget, if you haven't voted, vote for Isle Access, and then there's the number of the charity. But if you go on this link, health.movementforgood.com, if you click on there, it opens up and it asks you to nominate a charity, and you don't have to put the number in. If you just put Isle Access in, it will give the number as well, but you must do it before midnight tomorrow. But if you could do it and get other people to do it, it means that if they get the money, Isle Access are doing more to make life inclusive, much more inclusive for people with disabilities, whatever the disabilities are on the island. I mean, Jan's done so much good work, and she works with other organisations now on the island to make sure, that people are understanding what the issues are. She goes, Night Shane, she goes and does audits for people. So, hello, Jan, nice to see you. Coming in, we've been an hour and a half on here. We're nearly finishing now, but Jan, it's lovely to see you. And you've always got the replay if you want to, but lovely to have you here. So Jan will do an audit on a hotel or a venue if they want to know how accessible their building is and what can be done to make it more accessible. Jan does all of that. She's just amazing. I had no idea before I met Jan about how much tourism was being lost because because the information wasn't there. It's not that the places are not accessible, it's just that the information isn't available. So the more information that goes out, the better. And so, it's nice to see that Jan's working very hard on that. She's done some amazing work with some youngsters who have had difficulties themselves, and there's a film she made with these youngsters, and she's done some amazing work. So keep watching. Perhaps I'll share more of that another time, because I really need to go in a minute. Yes, no. So also, yes, I'm keeping okay now, Jan. I had a really nasty health scare back in December 2022 when I had pneumonia, and I nearly didn't make it. But thanks to the NHS and the amazing staff, they brought me back from the brink, and I'm here, and I feel fighting fit now. It's taken over a year to get to where I am now, but I do feel really fighting fit. Sometimes it is more about fighting. Sometimes it's not. She says, coughing her heart out. No, I'm fine. It's just a little cough at the minute. If it starts progressing, I shall immediately go and get some help. After being so ill, I won't let it deteriorate without seeking medical advice. And making sure I get it, which was the problem last time. I didn't get it quickly enough. I was blocked by a gatekeeper, but I overrode the gatekeeper and I dialed 111, and the hospital said, come now, can you get here? And my brother took me to hospital, and the rest is history. I'm back, but it's taken a long time. But it's so nice to be back and doing more live streaming again. So yes, so as far as Jan goes, if she got more money, she can help more people. So that's why we want the votes. So Jan, Dan, look along the bottom, Jan. I don't know if you can help us and vote for Isle Access on that link. Isle Access is a wonderful charity, and they're bidding for. They want this £5,000 that's up for grabs, so they can do more work. See you later. Absolutely. When you get to the UK, you'll make sure to come and see us. That's wonderful, Rhonda. So Rhonda is one of my crafty online friends. We were customers of a craft company that then didn't treat us so well. So we ended up in a group having chats about it. And now we're good friends, but not following that. Oh, I don't follow that company anymore, but I've gone out and found some amazing craft stuff from other companies, including Tonix. Tonix Studios do some amazing stuff. Yes, Kath, I'll be all right. I'll go. I had a bit of a not such a good one. I went to Slimming World before I came on here tonight, and I went rogue on Tuesday. On Tuesday, I went out with some of the crafters because it was Di's birthday, and rather than have a jacket potato, which I could have done, which I always have when I'm home, I went rogue and I had a delicious pie, and I had some wonderful chips, and it showed on the scales today, but it showed way more than ever I thought it would. And when I discussed it with them, I thought, I don't know, they didn't think, the girls weighing me didn't think, so I don't know what happened there. But I only had the one. I didn't even have a pudding. Can you believe it? So anyway, I'm not worrying about it. It is what it is. I really enjoyed the meal. I had a pie. I'd not had a pie in such a long time, and I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the chips. I do have chips at home, but I make my own chips that don't have all the naughties on them, but anyway, it was just nice, and I don't feel no, I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. I got straight back on plan, but anyway, if it goes on your, they say, it goes on your lips, it ends on your hips, doesn't it? Something like that. I know. And Kath says, I look so well, don't worry. I'm not worried, because you know what? I feel so well. And I know that will drop off again soon. So I should be sensible now. I don't need to go rogue too often. So I'll be sensible with that one. So I'm not worrying about it. And I so enjoyed the pie. It was well worth it. And then so tomorrow we'll be at the hub again tomorrow. I'll probably do a live stream and get, see if any more people can get any more votes in there. So, anybody who's just new here now, vote, go to health.movementforgood.com/ and then nominate IL Access. That's what you have to put in, IL Access, and nominate them. And hopefully we might be able to get the money. I didn't realise it was ending tomorrow. I thought we got much longer than that. And I found out it was tomorrow. So I got sort of really haven't had much time on this one. It was only apparently 5 days. It was only a 5-day window. So might be able to get a few more votes in. But, we'll see what it is. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I better go and grab something to eat now, something very sensible. I've got some nice salad in my fridge. I'll have that. And then get my bags packed, ready for crafting tomorrow. Hello, Elizabeth. You're coming in right on the end, Elizabeth. Do watch the replay. We've had an hour and 3/4 on here. I've been talking about what a wonderful community I have around me and some of the things we did, because it was the anniversary today, and that's why I live streamed, because it was the anniversary today of the day that we heard the news that we'd helped Bodster to get £50,000 of lottery money. I'm sorry you didn't get a notification, and you know what, I didn't get much time, Elizabeth, to try and share it out with everybody, because things kept happening. I set it up. I thought, oh, I better go live tonight. And then I went to Slimming World, but I didn't stay at Slimming World because I had to come back and get ready for the broadcast. I didn't want to, I wanted to broadcast from in here, because I hoped to be able to have the computer on. And actually, I can see some comments and things, 1 or 2 private messages coming into me over there. It's quite useful doing it in here. I'm sorry that it might not be as tidy behind me, but you can see this is a working area. This is my craft room. This is only contains some of the craft stuff, because the rest has spilt out there. And Sam came earlier. Sam I will be at the hub tomorrow. I met her through the hub, and she loves crafting. And some of you might have realised that we went to a crafty stashing last week, and we got some amazing bargains last weekend. Well, the people had some stuff left, and they offered it at very good deals. So Sam went over and got some more. I said, oh no, I don't want any more. And then she rang me up. No, she messaged me and said there was a box of, I'd already said no to a box of stuff. I didn't want to spend more money, or, certain that amount. And then she rang me up and she showed me what was in the box. And then the people reduced it right down. So I did do one more order, and I've got some amazing bargains in that box, which I'm going to go and have a look at in a minute when I've had my tea and see exactly what's in there. But I know there's a lot of stuff in there for the amount I paid. And then I've had 1 or 2 other amazing craft stuff come in. And then there was something today online, and I couldn't resist it. It's around the fair. No. Yes, around the fairy princess type thing. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You'll have to wait and see. Elizabeth, we did do well with our bargains, didn't we, the other day? But we did even better. So Sam went back and got herself some more stuff. But I didn't want to buy stuff that I hadn't seen. Although they were saying, oh, well, it's all that wooden stuff that was left over in a box, and it was this stuff as well. I hadn't got a vision in my head. And I thought, no, I better rein it in a bit. But then, as I say, it was such a great bargain that it would have been silly to say no. So there we go. We don't mind the bargains. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for sticking with me, for those of you who've been here since the beginning, for 1 hour and 48 minutes and 24 seconds. That's a lot. But I shall let you know how we get on with the things tomorrow. We'll take some pictures and pop those up. We'll see if you can get some more votes. So Elizabeth, did you come in as I said it? Elizabeth, if you can look at the bottom there just before I go, health.movementforgood.com, and can you vote, put in IL Access, and they're trying to get £5,000 funding. out of that charity, and it's to help people. It's to help people. I've forgotten what it actually said. I know. I'll tell you what it said, because I'm sitting in front of my computer. I can. That's why I wanted to sit in this room so I could read. It was Health and Wellbeing Special Draw, 5 days, 10 charities, £5,000 each. Nominations now open. And it says, to support the incredible work that so many charities do to support health and wellbeing, our second special draw, the award £5,000 to 10 charities working in this area. So you had to nominate your favourite charity, and it's open to charities whose core charitable purpose is the advancement of health, including disability support. Very much what Isle Access do. Okay, so there we are. So if you can help us, that will be amazing. And all you have to do is open that link, pop in Isle Access, and then put your details in. You know, then it's very easy and it won't take long. Thank you, Elizabeth. And if you can get anybody else to do it, you know, it closes at midnight tomorrow night. And that's you know, this is partly why I came on, but it's also the anniversary of the £50,000 of the granting of the lottery money we bid, you know, we helped to win as a community. We helped to win several years ago. So that's really, when that popped up this morning, I thought I have got to live stream tonight. So there we go. Anyway, I keep saying I'm going, and I wasn't, so now I am. Night night, Corrie. Night night, everybody who's been in here. Thank you so much for joining me. See you all again very soon. Take care. Bye. Good night, Jen.